Good morning. I just barely made it, I think. The road was blocked, and so I almost failed in reaching here. But then I think the lesson that I got from that is if you try very hard, you will reach. So a brisk walk and a bit of a jog, and I barely made it here. I'm mentioning this because I think that's the theme today of trying, failing, succeeding. Failing to succeed, succeeding to fail, and failing to succeed again. We have two very eminent speakers today. In fact, I feel least qualified to sit in moderation or speak about them because they're people who have run businesses, have great life experiences. My experience is only vicarious, listening to what others have done and listening to them, and especially one of the speakers on the dais. So I will play that role of a moderator a little bit, play a role of a little bit of an academic, and try and summarize some of the points they make. We have two speakers today, and let me just briefly introduce them. I know they were introduced, but a little bit more of the background will be really useful. Mr. Vijay Menon, our first speaker, is the CEO of Vijay Menon Consulting. He is also the author of Innovation Stories from India, Inc., Their Story in Their Words, published by Bloomsbury in 2017, where he interviewed a large number of companies to see what made them succeed and fail. And there's some very interesting case studies, including the most, the recent one on Nestle and the way they managed the crisis and so on. He's basically a marketing communication expert, writer, brand builder, and all kinds of stuff. He was earlier the vice president of Quest for marketing. Prior to that, he was vice president marketing for Infosys BPO. And before that, SSI Limited and Ramco Systems. He has a huge experience in the industry. He has experience of talking to different businesses, and of course, he's going to share with us his insights. The second speaker for today, in the schedule we had 3 speakers. Unfortunately, one of our speakers is missing. The second speaker for today is Mr. Vaitheeswaran, who is also an author, a very recent author of a very interesting book called Failing to Succeed, the story of India's first e-commerce company. Many of you might know him, but for those of you who do not know him, he's an avid entrepreneur and a pioneer. In fact, he's often called as the father of e-commerce in India. After a stint with the Murugappa Group and Wipro Infotech, he had the entrepreneurial itch, so to say, and he co-founded Fabmart.com in 1999, which was India's first pure-play online retail company. In a way, that was a precursor to the Flipkarts of the world today. This was later rebranded as India Plaza, and I think it was also the first online book company. Was hugely successful, and he ran this company till 2013, when adverse circumstances, and I'm sure he's going to talk about it, that's what his book talks about, kind of forced a shutdown of this company. He was also instrumental in co-founding India's first integrated retail company, Fabmall, which was later acquired by the Aditya Birla Group under the More label. So we have really very eminent speakers. And then, of course, I will try and put in my little bit. My only claim to fame, other than that I'm a faculty at IIM Bangalore, is that I try and teach a course on what people learn from corporate failures. And that is the reason, I guess, why I was asked to chair the session. Thank you. We'll start with you, Mr. Menon. As you would like. I think you could. So since we have a little bit more time, we will give them more time to speak. We had earlier decided 5 minutes and then a discussion. But the structure of this will be, we'll give them more time to speak and then maybe 10 minutes. And then I have some questions for them. And then, of course, your questions will be welcome and we will continue that. Thank you.